Had sync that time, right? So, in the bottom left starting location, we have in the red from StarCraft 1, he is
new challenger, CJ Entus EffOrt.
And his opponent down here in the bottom right, very young but very deadly, he is
Master, Maru Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that little outro a few more times before I get that synced up. So
yeah, hopefully by the end of next week.
Yeah,
we'll have that all
hopefully
done.
We're gonna find out.
By the way, guys, make sure to tell everyone, get in here and watch this. This is a lot of fun. These are still the best players in the world. You may not agree with the format, but it's interesting to finally cast something a little bit different with the highest level players, right?
Yeah, this is actually fun for me. We're getting all these different matchups, different players rotating. It's kind of cool. I like it.
It's like really fast paced. I'm enjoying casting it at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the games have actually been quite good.
And again, guys, tell
Except
your
for
friends.
the second half of that last one.
Oh god, that was actually hard to cast, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I can't lie to you guys. This guy's dead, and he just has not left yet.
No. Well,
this game should be much better, though.
Make sure that you tweet at GomTV and, of course, at Artosis, at Call Me Tasteless. And the best tweets we're going to show during the game at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
You could be so famous. There are so many people watching this.
Yeah,
so
man.
This is your chance to be funny. Like that guy that was funny before.
Yeah. What was it? Andrew Peterson? He's already had 2 tweets on
He's had 2 tweets.
2 tweets. He's beating you guys.
Yeah, you guys better
Come
pick
on,
up the
guys.
slack.
Step it up.
Seriously.
He's like, but I only have a Tumblr account. Well, get a Twitter account, man.
Yeah. Do that.
All right. We got a quick hatch here, and the Terran going for a quick expand. So both these guys are going for economy-oriented builds, which means they can't hurt each other early on.
No, and not at all surprised to see that. Like, early rushes in this matchup, either it's a 2 racks or it's bust. You know, it's nothing.
Yeah. So exactly.
We'd have the quick gas from Maru, so this tells us at least he'll be going into a factory right away as opposed to a 3rd command center, which is a little bit risky.
Artosis and Tasteless, if your relationship was a StarCraft unit, which one would it be and why? It would be an Archon, right? Come on, guys. All right, let's try
here's I'll get one, right? I would be a Zergling with +1 carapace, and you would be a Baneling.
Would we? All right, I can go with that. Let me try to think of one.
So when you blow up on me, I just barely live.
I'm trying to think of one for us. I would be a Marauder with the stim and the combat shields, and you would be that goat on dual sight that you can't click on.
Wow. I am that goat on dual sight that you can't click on.
You would be one of the neutral units on the map. You haven't played the Heart of the Storm single player, have you?
No.
Saving that until right before Legacy of the Void?
Yeah, when the Legacy of the Void beta goes down in between beta and launch, that's when I'm going to play
There's an Easter egg of us in the single player.
Why are you giving me spoilers?
No, it's not a spoiler. Like
that's a spoiler.
There's a level
that's
where
the best part of the story, I bet.
That was my favorite part. You can click on a unit. It's like a goat, and it's called a Tasteless.
Tasteless.
And then there's another goat later on. Well, not a goat.
I saw
like one of these like alien goats or whatever. An Artosis. Yeah.
Oh. No, that's a real.
I found out about that while I was streaming. I was like, whoa.
Those are real animals.
Better be.
They're going to be one day.
They're going to be when we make them.
If you are...
Use all that esports money, start making our own animals.
Here's the thing. If you're a GSL fan and you also are, like, not a botanist, but the one for animals.
What?
You know, like a botanist studies plants.
Zoologist.
Zoologist.
Yeah,
if you're a zoologist and you discover a new type of, like, deer, please name it the Artosis.
Oh, yeah.
If you actually care about StarCraft, you'll do it.
Yeah, or at least an insect. There's lots of new insects.
Well, name that one the Tasteless, the insect.
I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
The poisonous tarantula Tasteless.
Yeah.
Right out of Arachnophobia, the movie, man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. We do have the Hellions already being in production here, and notice that Maru actually threw up a couple more Raxes way to the side where it's going to be a little bit harder to scout. So that means that we can definitely see him, extend more into pressure and attacking.
Yeah.
And still be pretty safe because he's going to have a lot of units.
Yeah.
Whereas with EffOrt, he actually is getting a pretty darn quick layer and thrown out of the Roach Horn with a couple Evos up at his front. So will he be going for quick speed here and 1-1? Or will he possibly go up to the Spire?
It could go either way. It's hard to call so far here. And we'll see how gas hungry he gets.
Well, he's pretty hungry for gas. He just took all the rest of them.
Yep. And if he stays mine on them, then yeah, I'd probably say going for the Spire then.
Well, it looks like, in fact, Tasteless, he's just grabbing those gases to catch up on gas from not mining him for so long because he is getting that ranged attack.
All right, I take it back.
Yeah. So he is going to get quite a few roaches out here. And that can be very dangerous, but if Maru figures it out, then he definitely can stop them from doing any critical damage to him.
Yeah,
and
certainly.
Then the roaches become bad over time.
Yeah, roaches have a weird place in Terran vs. Zerg. They're like useful for like the early game, and then they're not useful at all. Assuming the Terran's doing bio like this.
And to a lesser extent in all matchups, really, because when you get to the really late game, it's like, well, these are pretty supply expensive for what they do.
They are. Do you remember when in the beta for Wings of Liberty when roaches were 1 supply?
I remember it very well.
That
I played
was
Zerg. It was awesome.
All right, so the Queen's now going to try to drive out these Hellions. Great job there by Maru denying those creep tumors.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of energy you got rid of
The
there.
goal is not to kill those Queens. You're not going to kill them off in that fight, but you can deny the creep tumors.
Yeah. Well, we do have Medivacs popping out at the moment, and I love it. A Viking is on the way for Maru right now.
All right, what StarCraft strategy of any race would Artosis and Tasteless use to pick up a girl?
Well, Tasteless would use the Tasteless build. And Artosis would turtle on 3 bases. Obviously. Come on.
Obviously.
Easy question.
Come on, guys.
All right.
These are good challenges, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a serious drop. This actually is really bad for the Zerg, because the Zerg's actually way out of position here. He's outside of his base.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of roaches, but 2 Medivacs here. This is pretty scary on both sides.
Oh my god, he actually has nothing inside of his base at all.
Oh my god, they're both going to take a lot of damage. Look at this. The drone's trying to run, but the drone's going to be picked off so quickly by the Marines. Now the roaches running up into the natural.
The roaches are spilling in now.
So
doing a lot of damage. Will the walling get up? It does not.
Wow.
One Medivac coming back here to defend. The tech lab goes down. I don't even know if the drop can actually, the one that he's using to defend can actually do anything. This game's actually gotten out of control very quickly here.
So much damage being dealt so quickly here. Maru's already killed 19 drones, but 11 SCVs and more now going down.
You know, one of the problems here is that for the Zerg is that these Medivacs heal, you know? So, and then the roaches, they heal over time, but they don't heal immediately. So, this is weird. I actually don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit crazy. This is a really weird and very early base trade type of scenario. You know, eventually these roaches should all die, but will the Marines actually end up going down? The supply for both players just plummeting. 23 SCVs to 32 right now.
Yeah. Now spilling down here and hitting hard. He couldn't have taken out the spawning pool. The roaches have done a lot of damage. This is actually really tricky to cast right now because it's not clear. We're going to find out in a little bit who's actually going to be at the advantage. He's hitting the layer now, but there's too many roaches against these Marines. He could medevac boost up north, but he does not. Instead decides to go back home. All right, let's assess the situation now. Now that things have calmed down. This is actually tricky. How many SCVs does he have?
Okay, it's 21 to 31. Now, both of them killed a lot, but I think it's more important to look at the actual numbers in relationship to each other. And the bank as well. We actually have, well, 4 drones on the way. He's actually rebuilding his roach warren. It's kind of a heavy mineral unit to be making right now when you lost so many drones. But there's 3 command centers out, so a lot of mules are going to be dropping consistently. And then, of course, we have these Vikings, which are actually going to prove to be a huge problem as well.
Yeah, well, you know, the Zerg was forced to make so many roaches there to defend that the Vikings can actually take out a lot of Overlords. So this could... Whoa, don't go there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, actually. He's going to unload, and now he's splitting up his army here.
Yeah, you know, this
Zerg should have enough to defend, but, you know, a lot of this comes down to execution and not really numbers.
Yeah. The thing is, if any more damage can be eked out, it's huge at this point.
Yeah.
Because this is the part where they're both trying to rebuild their economies. They need to get a lot of drones, a lot of SCVs out, and not lose any more.
The best tool you can have in moments like this is simply experience, because situations like this don't happen that often where you both took so much damage that there's no longer really a tempo anymore.
You know, I think I'm starting to feel this a lot more from Maru. I really like his Viking clump around the map because he's costing minerals to EffOrt and costing map vision, which is keeping EffOrt really defensive because he has an army composition that just isn't mobile, that isn't going to be good at stopping a quick drop. So he has to be very careful here.
All right, he's stimming, coming in here now. Nice targeting over here on the roaches. It would have been a much less even fight otherwise here. Now he's going to try this hatchery. Could get the hatchery in time. Oh my, look at this targeting. He's so good. He's not just attack moving, he's actually specifically getting each roach.
Well, you know,
he killed like 6 roaches back there.
Yeah, in this type of situation, killing roaches is good. Killing anything is good as long as you get away with your units, and he's doing that.
Yeah.
And not just that, he's playing against Hydra Roach. He's doing drop harassment all over the place, very well, just picking things off, and going Siege Tank Marine behind us.
Yeah, and I look the Siege Tanks in his base because that means he can't be counterattacked.
He cannot.
No.
Absolutely not. And the thing is, he'll be able to actually take a third and not get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that's, in fact, exactly what he's going to do here, whereas if he didn't have Siege Tanks, like if he was trying to go Widow Mines or something right now, with the low supply numbers that they're both at, the Roach Hydra might have been able to crack him. But with the Siege Tanks there, as long as his formation is good, I think he holds against any incoming attacks, at least for a bit.
All right, Command Center now landing down here. The third base has been secured, and I got to say, Maru is in great shape this game. I'm really impressed, especially considering he's against EffOrt, which was like top 3 StarCraft 1 Zergs. Yeah,
imagine EffOrt just going out this first round. That would be very painful for him. He doesn't really have the results you would imagine for his StarCraft 1 skill level right now.
All right. Well, it looks like the drops have slowed down. Not as much harass can be pulled off now. Zerg is starting to stabilize. The question is, can Zerg, after stabilization, play catch-up here?
That's a good question. He's getting that Infestation Pit. Now, are we going to see him tech up to Vipers real quick, or is he actually going to use the Infestation Pit?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
It's hard to say. You know,
I'd like to see the Vipers. I feel like we haven't casted enough games with Vipers in them.
Well, you know, Vipers definitely can be very useful, especially against units like the Siege Tank. You know,
yeah,
you throw down
that's
that
a very good
cloud,
point.
Or even
you can harpoon the 3 of those Siege Tanks, pull them out, and then send your entire army in there.
Sure. And, you know, of course, Ultra's always going to be useful, but he doesn't have any melee attack upgrades, so not as likely, maybe.
Yeah, no, his course is set so that he probably won't tech to Ultras.
Well, the thing is, I think no matter what, he has to get at least 1 Viper. Going up to Hive at this speed with this unit composition, he needs a Viper.
Yeah. Well, here we have this medevac coming out here now. Again, EffOrt's completely stabilized here. The drops are not really going to do anything. I don't blame Maru for trying, but it's just, he's not going to get in there.
Certainly. Well, that, you know, that's just something you're going to do against someone who doesn't have any Mutalisks. You're going to look to drop all game, even if it doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, I was so hoping, but I dared not say it, Tasteless. The Zerg form of mech, the Swarm Host, is going to be coming out. He's getting his enduring.
It's called the Zerg form of mech. That's actually so true. It is a Zerg form of mech.
That's why I really like Swarm Hosts. I've been advocating them since the beta. But this is going to be cool, man, because the Locusts take the upgrades that he has, which is 2/2 on his ranged
you know
units.
what? That's very smart.
And he's playing against someone with a lot of siege tanks.
This parlays perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Locusts will take the damage for the other units while they move forward.
But, you know, here's the thing. He's trying to get the Swarm Host now, but Terran's pushing at this moment. He's not going to have enough Swarm Hosts for this to matter. So the most important factor right now is how much damage can Maru do here in this attack?
Well, EffOrt knows he can't hold there. His supply is actually greatly inferior right now, down about 20. He is getting his Vipers, but he needs to charge them up first. And the speed of this attack, if he can, like, kill 1 more base, that would be huge. But looks like he's going to charge these up very quickly with that Consume.
This is a great technique, by the way. These Evolution Chambers are so cheap, you just make a bunch of them and then vampire the energy out of them.
Yeah.
All right. This is an interesting route he chose. This means that EffOrt does not entirely sure he can win if he's going to go up this way instead of going into the main here.
Well, here we go, and a nice little grab there. So one of his abducts is gone. We do have to count that in, and this attack. Here's the thing, if he gets that base, I feel like it's going to be an overwhelming advantage.
He also got the Roach Warren too here.
And some Blinding Clouds do go down, forcing those units forward, and there you go, right on the Siege Tanks, a beautiful Blinding Cloud, but does he actually have enough to break through? Yeah,
he does. Yeah, he totally does.
Whoa, I am getting chills right now.
That was so good.
That was beautiful. I swear, oh my God, that was awesome.
That was sick, man.
I love that. What a good save.
I thought actually that EffOrt was about to lose the game.
Yeah, well, if he loses at third base, I think the game is just over. But now it goes on, and EffOrt has a huge supply lead. Those Blinding Clouds were worth their weight in green smog.
We have another push coming up here, though, so Maru's not done yet.
And now we have 8 swarm hosts on
Can
the
you
play.
check on your
so
preview
excited.
PC? What is the hit point set for the 3rd hatchery? I actually didn't catch that. I just want to know.
It's just under half. It's at like 630.
Because, sometimes you get them low enough, you can just drop when the guy's not looking to kill it, but I don't think that's going to be the case if it's at half health.
Yeah, no, you'd have to have a pretty sizable army or 2 medevacs, which is pretty risky at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so with these swarm hosts coming out, this is going to be really neat, man. We never really see swarm hosts used against bionic Terran. You know, against mech, yeah, you'll see it, but against this, not as often. But the siege tanks are pretty immobile, which is going to help out with the swarm hosts because they actually have bigger range.
He can use blinding cloud on the siege tanks too, and just send the swarm hosts in there.
Very true. Well, we'll see how this goes. This is pretty awesome, though.
This is pretty awesome, man. All right, locusts are coming up here. This will tip his hand here. Now, here's the problem: is these are expendable units.
Yeah.
So it's like any damage he does is worth it. Oh, nice.
Nice abducts.
Yoink.
Well, it looks like right now Maru's going to try to overwhelm, but the locust jumping out right at the second. And here we go. He does stim. Of course, we are going to have to see EffOrt get out of here.
Those swarm hosts are not fast. He could catch up to them.
Yeah, he's catching quite a few of these units. He doesn't want to lose the swarm host. Looks like he will. A concussive shell hitting. Oh, maybe
nice drop. And we just caught the tail end of that.
Very nice indeed. And he's keeping EffOrt down on 3 bases, despite the cool play that we've seen from EffOrt here. Maru has his 4th up, so you got to give the lead back to him.
All right, Medevac is now moving out. I almost feel like that little... okay, I thought Terran was going to push further. I'm like, I don't think he should do that. That's not enough units.
Well, it's such an interesting game. You just never see these unit compositions fight like this. We're watching Wings of Liberty.
I'm learning right now.
Against a Zerg versus Protoss army from Heart of the Storm. Like this is a weird situation, but it is cool indeed.
Now I like how he's splitting this up. That's how you want to handle swarm hosts. You just spread out your army. Attack different locations.
Oh
right?
no!
Oh my God!
Well, that's bad. That's actually really good blind cloud.
Was really good there.
That's some really good usage of blind cloud. I thought for sure he'd lose all that, but he needs to run those hydras away.
Oh, he took a lot of damage.
Yeah, he went under his own blind cloud.
He actually killed the hatch too. That didn't cancel.
Yeah.
Let's see if he gets this one too. Nope, canceled.
At least to cancel, but he's keeping him on those 3 bases, which is pretty bad against 4-base Terran.
He's basically denied 3 bases.
He's basically denied. Oh, Tasteless. You ham you.
You call me a ham?
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time I've heard you use that term. We got the stim coming in here now. It looks like the locusts are just barely not enough.
Yeah, the locusts are kind of a cool idea, but he didn't.
Oh my God! Okay, this is over. He got everything.
GG.
Fell apart at once. GG.
Well, EffOrt does fall out, but that was hectic. One thing to say about that. He just barely didn't have the economy, I think, to keep to make the swarm host strategy work.
Yeah.
You don't normally see it against that, but let's say he had a 4th base fully mining when he was going for those swarm hosts.
Yeah.
I think he could have done it.
EffOrt not looking happy right now. A disappointing loss for him. Remember, he was a legend in StarCraft 1. Here in StarCraft 2, he's out in the round of 32.
Yeah, but, he's continuing that climb up. Not everyone transferred over perfectly at first. He's making his way up, though.
Yeah. Well, Maru clearly very happy right now.
Yeah.
With awesome play. That was a tricky situation back there when the swarm hosts came out, It was. It was kind of a weird thing, but he dealt with it well enough. The swarm hosts... They get what you want to do against them is A, of course, what you said, move your units around because they are immobile. But B, you want to actually go ahead and overwhelm them all at once, which when you have medevacs, definitely can be done. Over time, they'll gain a lot of value for you, but at first, not as much. And he really took advantage of both those. You need to get a big amount of them. And one thing to note is when you have the swarm hosts, okay, it's a big, deadly army, but it's in one place. So if you attack different locations... the swarm hosts are essentially useless, so he did a great job harassing him. And that's what we saw. I think it was like 4 major victories in the course of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He got the expansions. He got the army spread out. He got 3 bases and then cornered the swarm host. It was really nice play there.
Well, that was about the most immobile army you could ever make against Terran.
Yeah,
right?
No kidding. It was pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to go on to the final match here of Group C in the Season 2 of the Star League. Stay tuned.